Okay, who do we have in the chat? Who do we have in the chat today? Robert. Yes, Robert, you know I'm trying to learn how to work this here thing. So, Robert, hello. Is it me you're looking for? And I wonder where you are. And I wonder what to do, Robert. Robert, are you all somewhere feeling lonely? Or there's someone loving you? Hey, come on, Robert. Robert, you ain't know I knew all that, did you, Robert? Robert, you didn't know I knew all of that. Who else coming on in here? As you're coming in, I'm going to give a song to you. I'm going to sing a song to you. I'm going to be somewhere like Uncle Tim. Uncle Tim, I ain't gonna take over your singing thing, Uncle Tim, because Uncle Tim be singing. I ain't gonna take over Uncle Tim Lane, because Uncle Tim be singing. But as y'all coming in, I'm gonna sing y'all a song. I'm gonna sing a song to you. Yes. So I'm gonna sing a song to you. So come on in. As you're coming in, I need y'all to hit that like button. And then I'm going to do some jewelry giveaway too. I'm going to do some jewelry giveaway. So come on in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let me know. So that way we can get our followers up. You look fabulous in that red shirt. Robert, I don't. Robert, I'm going to get my hair done in a minute. Robert, I'm going to get my hair done in a minute. So, but I just wanted to pop on. I just wanted to do, as me and Courtney say, a little yang, yang, yang. I just wanted to pop on and, start getting into all the things, other things. I wanted to pop on and get into all the things, other things. Okay, so no, you didn't pop. No, let me tell you something, Robert. Ain't nobody offended. Hey, JP, Nicole, I have a horrible connection on my end, but I'm in here. Hey, JP, go, JP, go, JP, go. Bump, bump. Make sure y'all hitting that like button on y'all way in, so that way I can I want to do a jewelry giveaway. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button so I can see who liked, so I can do a jewelry giveaway. So make sure y'all are liking the video so I can do a jewelry giveaway. Okay, y'all know we like a little, y'all know we like a little giveaway now. We like a little giveaway. So make sure, and then let me go ahead and set this up right. Let me do a thumbnail. See, I'm trying to do all the things. Like, I'm trying to come in hot. I'm trying to come in, right. Like, I don't want to have y'all just like, ooh, Cola tried to come in and she ain't even give us the yin, yin, yang, 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 yang. So I want to give y'all the yin, yin, yang, yang, yang. And I want to, make sure the things are right. So let me go ahead and draft. No, I'm gonna do this. Come on. I said I wanna do right. Help me to do right, thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me go ahead and let me see. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me change so I can do a thumbnail that got all the yin, yin, yang, yang. So let's do that. See, I'm learning. JP, I'm so glad you're here, JP. JP, you make this live what it is. You make this live what it is. Y'all, what we gonna talk about today? Y'all, anything y'all want to talk about? Do we want to talk about anything on today? Okay, how I can make this? I want to make this. Shoot, I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. I'm leaving comments to let you know that. Thank you so much, Robert. Robert, you the best. You're the best. You're the best. Okay, so what y'all want to talk about today? Are we talking about all the things, other things? Let me see. Let me see. Okay. In my news feed, they talking about two-part murder trial. We don't want to talk about it. Then, let's see. They talking about Jaguar Wright calls out Saucy Santana. We don't want to talk about that. Let me see. What else? What else in our world? It ain't really nothing going on in our world. Did y'all tune into Courtney Phillips, Sean Talks last night? I watched some of the Tupac opening argument. I'm trying to figure out, JP, so I'm trying to figure out like what they trying to do. JP, I'm trying to figure out what they trying to do. I'm trying to figure out what they trying to do. Like, I thought, I'm not saying that they convicted anybody, but I'm just saying like, I'm just trying to figure out what they, like, yeah, what's the end goal? That's what I'm trying to say, JP. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like, so, like, what's gonna happen? Cause I'm like, I thought we've been like, and I guess I said, well, Cola, that's insensitive because his mama still wants justice. I get that. His mama still wants justice. So let me dial that back. Because I don't care if something happened to my baby. I don't care if it's been 50 years ago. If the murder ain't been solved, I still want justice for my baby. The Pow Pow man was unalive, and Keefe said it's not him. Oof. See, so I can't say that because, again, if my baby was unalive, I don't care. I'm a want to ride it out until I get some answers. Suge Knight said he don't get paid to snitch. So Suge Knight said he don't get paid to snitch. So, you know, I trust the process, avoid questioning the process. Yeah. It's just a lot going on. Because I heard people say that the government did it. Just like they said the government did a lot, you know. So a lot of people say that the government took him out, child. You know. I don't know, child. I don't know. No, Suge Knight said he don't get paid. I guess Suge Knight said, I'm in jail. Like, how is any of this going to work out for my face? I know that's right, Suge Knight. I guess he said, what I get out of snitching? Am I going to get up out this mug? Then he said, I might give y'all a little yang, yang, yang. I might give y'all a little yang, yang, yang. You know, y'all let me know I'm going to get out in it, like tomorrow. Suge Knight say, what's in it for me, pimp? I don't blame him. I'm snitching for what? No, that's right. I guess he said, I got my own problems. I got my own problems to solve, child. You sitting up here snitching for what? And for who? No, No, I do agree. I do agree. Robert said, Tupac family included his sister and his stepbrother have a right to know. Right, Robert. That's why I said I had to dial that back. That's why I had to dial that back, because I'm like, now wait a minute, Cola. It don't. If your family member was unalive, it don't matter how long ago it's been. We won't answer. So you're right. I had to dial that right on back, because let something happen to me and mine. To death do us part. Okay, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Yeah, I want to know. And ain't nothing but death gonna stop me from getting the answers. So yes, I definitely would want to know. So you're right, Robert. Robert, you are absolutely correct. I would want to know. Give me a peace of mind. So yes. It's so much going on in the world. It's just, ain't it so much going on in the world? It's a lot. It be a lot. Did y'all hit that like and share button? Hit that like. Hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button for me. Okay? Huh? Would you do that for me, please? Hit that like button for me, please. If you don't mind. I need how many? Everybody. Hi, woo! I need everybody. Huh? I need Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to hit the like button. I need Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to hit that like button, huh? I need Lottie, Dottie, and everybody hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button, yeah. Because that's what we do around here. That's what we do around here. We go ahead and get them likes up. Get them likes up. And this is going to be a live to where I'm going to allow, because y'all know I started in the chat. So on my live, I will not block anybody. I will not block nobody. I won't block nobody. Now, if you get too crazy, I might time you out for like 3 minutes, but you can just come right on back, okay? So, but on my live, I won't block anybody. Now, if you get too, you may get timed out for like 2 seconds. But you can just come right on back, okay? Yeah. So we're not, on this live, we're going to let the chat run the live. So whatever y'all want to talk about, we going to talk about. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we going to talk about. So y'all in the chat, this is y'all channel. Okay? This y'all channel. So whatever y'all want to talk about, we gonna hit it. We gonna hit it. We gonna hit it. We all grown. But you know, y'all may want to talk about, you know, y'all little piece of boyfriend. Y'all may want to talk about y'all little piece of girlfriend. Whatever y'all want to talk about, this is just like us hanging out, you know, while you eating lunch or whatever. You know, you got your little piece of Coke can, whatever, and we just chilling. You know, it ain't a lot of pressure going on around here. It ain't a lot of, you know, it's just a little, let me stop by Cola and see. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes we may have a little wings. We may have a little, you know, strawberry lemonade, peach punch, you know. But around here, you know, it ain't no pressure on nothing. It ain't no pressure on nothing around here. We just good folk that likes to have a good time. We just gonna be good folks that like to have a good time. and just talk. You know, life is enough pressure on its own. Life is enough pressure on its own. So we don't need to be going online and folk going off on. It's just like, oh, girl, honey, that is like a lot going on. Like, that's a lot going on. So we don't, over here, it's chill. It ain't that deep over here. It ain't that deep. Yeah, we ain't doing a whole bunch of, ooh, nuh-uh, honey, don't be doing that. No, we not doing that over here. Over here, you're going to be able to speak your mind. You're not going to be censored. If it get like way out of control, I may say, oh, okay, let's reel it in. But you ain't going to be blocked. You ain't going to be none of that. It's just, we may tell you, well, okay, friend, like, you ain't have to call her no bald-headed scallywag. Like, friend, you ain't have to do that. Friend, you ain't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't have to talk about her baby daddy like that, okay? So, you know, we'll give you like a little tug, like, friend, that was like not nice, but we're not gonna block you. Now, if you get too out of control, we may say, friend, think about it for like 2 seconds. And then, you know, then we'll let you come on back. Okay. So, yeah. But, yeah, this is just a cool space. Like, it ain't a whole lot. It ain't a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? We just chill. You know. If you need to be like, girl, they got on my nerves today. Girl. Bop, bop, bop. Girl, gas is high. Girl, what y'all gonna eat today? Like, we that type. Like, we just be, girl, should I get braids or should I do a sew-in? Okay, should I go back to my natural hair or should I do a pixie cut? Like, yeah, like, you know, we real chill over here. Like, it ain't a lot going on. We just chill. You know, no, we're not blocking nobody. Nobody will be blocked. If somebody gets like way out there, we'll say, friend, you kind of way out there. We'll try to bring you in. And if it's no bringing you in, then we'll like, you know, give you like 2 minutes. Like, give you like 2 seconds to think about it. Then you be like, oh, yeah, I was tripping. And then you just come right on back. That's it. You just come right on back. That's all. Because sometimes I get way out there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to block me because it's like, ooh, I was in my feelings right there. I want somebody to just, you know, time me out by like 2 minutes. Then I be like, oh, I was tripping. And then I come right on back. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my bad, y'all, I was tripping. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. I wonder what let's go on Facebook. Let's see more. Yes, I was just about to say, JP. Let's see what let's see what Tiara is her name McNeely? Is her name Tiara McNeely? Let's see what Tiara talked about today. Let's see. Okay, so Tiara said Kingdom City Church early release. So they praying for early release on Tiara McNeely. Then she reposted one of Karn's messages. Let's see.
Isaac in chapter 21, over the top of what God told him in Isaac chapter 22. You're not hearing what I'm saying. When God has given you a promise concerning your son, concerning your daughter, concerning your husband, concerning your family, concerning your future, if God told you something in 21 and something in 22 looks contrary to what he told you in 21, hold on to what he said in 21, because 22 don't cancel out what he told you in 21. He said, I know to kill him, but that don't line up with what you told me in 21. So he held the word he had, even when the instruction in front of him seemed to cancel.
Oh, come on, Carl. So she's going back now, Tierra, and y'all can find Tierra on. Let me show y'all. Now, Tierra, I need to you need to cut me a check, Tierra. So y'all, this is Tierra's page on Facebook, because I think she took her TikTok down. So this is Tierra's page on Facebook. So Tierra is on Facebook, and that's her and this is how you can find her over there. So that's how you can find Tierra over there. So let's see what else she put. Let's see what else she did. Oh, she liked Jamila. Oh, this is not gonna be good for Tierra. Tierra likes Jamila Gooden. Ooh, this is gonna be so bad. Tierra 4 hours ago, she liked Jamila Gooden's, and Jamila Gooden been married 4 times. Tierra. Jamila is not somebody that you want to follow. Okay, then she posted. So this is when that's when they was doing all the shouting and killing.
You are worshipers. Worship is in you. Just directed to God. Praise is already in you. Say it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give them a praise.
You know they likes the church.
Come on, give them a praise. Oh. Here we go now.
Oh. Praise him, Robert. Praise him, Robert. Woo! Woo! Oh!
Praise him! 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 In the morning time, praise him!
Okay, so she posted that from Sunday. Then she had on a little boom, boom, boom white gold dress. Then I guess she went to somebody else's church. So that's Tierra. Now let's see if Kayla Isadora. Now Kayla Isadora walked so Tierra can run. Okay. So let's see what Kayla Isadora. So if y'all want to follow, now Kayla ain't posted nothing since May. So Kayla ain't posted nothing since May. So you're not gonna get a lot. You're not gonna get a lot from Kayla. Okay, so you're not gonna get a lot from Kayla. But if y'all want to follow Kayla on Facebook, that's where you're gonna find Kayla. The last thing Kayla posted was May 23rd. This is Kayla.
perfect. But I do it because of a covenant that was covenant. Look at somebody and say, thank God for grace. Thank God for grace. I come to tell you today that the same crowd that was burning.
Let me show you.
All right.
This is Kayla, y'all. This is Kayla. This Kayla Isidore.
And say he does just what he says.
He does just what he says.
I come to tell somebody.
I come to tell somebody
Don't depend on you.
that it don't depend
But
on
you're
you.
depending on a God who will fight for
You
you.
depend on a God who will
Fight
fight
for
for
you
you.
when you believe.
Hey,
And I fight for you when you don't believe. Do it because
Hey, girl, they like them toes, girl.
but I do it because of a covenant that was
I'm covenant.
Look at somebody and say, thank God for grace.
Thank God for grace. Thank God for grace. Woo, thank God for grace.
And you're saying, I don't have the strength. And I don't have the faith. And I don't have the consistency. And I got a whole bunch of doubt in my mind. I come to tell you today that the same crowd that was hurting and complaining, the same crowd that was doing all that fussing and cussing, the same crowd that was catching an attitude, is the same crowd that God delivered. Grab your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm surrounded by enemies. God delivered. I come to preach to somebody in here.
What you come for? What you come to Sunday to do? Let me know.
Like you're in an impossible situation. I know it seems like you have no way out. I know it seems like you can't come out of this. Grab your neighbor, rock them and shake them, shake them and rock them.
So this is Kayla Page. Okay, so that's them. So that's them. So if y'all want to check that out. Yes, Robert. Preach, Robert. Preach, Robert. Robert, you preaching. Yeah, preach, Robert. Robert saying a word. You preaching good, Robert. You preaching good. Preach, Robert. Oh, oh. Ain't that how they say it? Oh, yeah, I know I can't sing. Oh, y'all don't want me to do the war cry. You be like, ooh, cola. Who did it? God did it. Who did it? God did it. Who did it? God did it. Ooh. All right, who's all in here? Who's all participants? I think it can show participants. Who we got in here? We got Robert. We got JP. Who else we got in here? It showed that we got 4 participants. Who's participating? Who's participating? Robert, you preacher. Robert, you a preacher. Robert, you a little preacher. Hey, hey. Robert, you preacher. Let me see who's participants. It's just me and Robert in here. It's just me and Robert in here now. Why y'all being ugly? Why y'all being ugly? Who's participating? Who's participating? It's just me and Robert. I'm just a regular person. No, you're not just a regular person. No, you're not, Robert. You're a man of God. Hi-ya-ba-see. You're a man of God, Robert. You are not regular. It ain't nothing regular about you, Robert. Ha! It ain't nothing regular about you. We're all special and unique. All special and unique. It ain't nothing regular about anybody on this page. We all are unique. Come on. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Hey, whoo. Mm-hmm. Turn to your neighbor and say, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Ha. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then we got Andrea. Preach, Robert. Go ahead, man of God.
Please, Phil.
Yes.
Number 8 is the driver's side of the vehicle.
Yes.
And oops.
Mr. DeJeffel, 33 also.
7. That is what the passenger side of that vehicle looked like.
Yes.
Finally, for you, 33. Those are the items you were collected off Mr. Secure in the hospital.
Yes.
Man,
But Mr. Sam has requested.
he had what, 100 in a pack of Newports?
CSA report, as Mr. Ford is not physically capable of coming to court to testify.
So that'll be admitted via stipulation.
Yes.
What exhibit did you want to do?
I guess we should just make it next to the pretend it was 1 week.
All right, that'll be admitted
Oh,
via
thank you,
stipulation.
JP.
Thank you.
Okay. 33 isn't like that.
Based upon that agreement,
This is 33.
no objection.
So it will.
Based on that agreement that we reached with Mr. Sam, I believe he has no objection to the rest of Mr. Ford's crime scene photographs at this particular scene, which is proposed exhibits 9 through 32.
That is correct. All right, 9 through 32 will be admitted via stipulation. You may call this.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay.
They started out light, man. I would have came out swinging.
We just listening in on the Tupac case.
DVD. We got the interview.
We listening in on the Tupac trial.
And you are Mr. Gale.
Yes.
Well, welcome back to the courtroom.
Thanks.
So let me ask you this. So how long had you been working for Metro until you
Like 13 years.
I see. And at the time when you were on the bicycle on September 7th, 1996, how long had you been working for Metro at that point?
Yeah, I thought that's what you asked to begin with. I started in '83, so it would have been right around 13 years.
I see. And obviously,
Yes,
when
JP.
you are first a police officer, you go through an academy before you become an actual police officer.
Yes, correct.
And you learn skills and techniques and things to help you become a successful police officer.
Yes.
One of those things I would imagine would be records.
Yes.
Now, fair to say though, in this particular case, what you had seen, or what you had done was basically you saw a license plate that wasn't on a vehicle, you stopped them, you asked for their ID, and at some point you just allowed them to continue on their way.
Yes.
So there was no need to write a report about that.
No.
Okay. Did you write a report and with regards to that stop?
No.
Okay. Now, when you were present at the scene and you saw the vehicle stop, do you know if any other vehicles were behind it?
No, I did not see any other vehicle behind it, so I don't know.
So there wasn't like a caravan or a line of vehicles behind the black BMW when you stopped the BMW?
No.
Can you describe for us a little bit about
Big
what the area was like on the night of September 7th, 1996?
1996. Girl, I couldn't even remember that.
Pretty average night for the strip as far as the amount of traffic going and things like that. Not particularly crowded or packed or anything like that. The area we stopped them in had some lighting, but it wasn't like right in front of a hotel or something that had a lot of light or anything like that.
I see.
You know, nothing out of the ordinary.
So there was nothing out of the ordinary as to that particular date and time in in terms of any special events going on in Las Vegas at that particular time?
I'm sorry, there was always something going on the strip, so I heard that things were going on that night, but I was really aware of them.
Were you ever aware that on that particular night there was a championship boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldman that was being held at the MGM?
Yes.
All right. And I would venture to say that that would be something that would have been briefed to all the police officers prior to you going on your shift that night.
No, we didn't really talk about it.
All right. And then with regards to the amount of traffic, you're saying that even though this championship fight had taken place, in your opinion, there wasn't a lot of traffic on the strip?
Not more than ordinary.
Okay. And when you say not more than ordinary, can you describe for us what that means exactly?
Well, the strip is always pretty crowded, or was at that time, so I guess when we conducted the car stop, there was enough traffic that we felt comfortable that he was going to have to stop.
Basically, they trying to say if it was that packed out there, why ain't nobody see TBD?
Road bikes out there, so. But there was always traffic in that area. So it's always congested over there.
Okay, and that's probably the best way to put it, right? It's still congested
But
for
people
Las
will
Vegas.
be able to see that.
Yes.
But it's normal for Las Vegas to be
Yes.
congested.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it wasn't like, for instance, I don't know if you were around Las Vegas in 2020, and you could just take your bicycle and just ride down Las Vegas Boulevard with like no one around, right? It's not that
Right,
kind.
it's not like that.
All right, and when you say congested, meaning that cars could not go very fast because there's always cars around in that area.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, your testimony was that you had arrived on scene, and then at some point you're actually in the ambulance with Mr. Sherper.
Yes.
Being transported to the hospital.
Yes.
And the hospital you were going to was
Leonson.
first arrives on scene. Is that police officer considered to be the primary officer until such time as they were relieved of that duty?
Ordinarily, yes.
Were you the primary officer at that particular scene? Were you the first officer on arrival?
I don't really remember. There were so many of us that showed up like right around the same time. There was just a lot of officers showed up there pretty quickly.
Right. Now, I mean, you have a pretty clear memory of this. Did you review any records or have any meetings with the district attorney's office prior to your testimony here today?
Yes, I did. I reviewed the records.
Okay. And once again, you do that so it'll help you refresh your recollection as to what occurred 30 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Even though this might be something that's unusual, right? You have a celebrity who's shot on the strip, you still have to refresh your recollection in order for you to remember things.
Some of it, yes.
Yeah. And once again, you're doing that so you make sure for this jury that you're accurate about what you recall 30 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, you were shown a map, and I'm going to show you again here. This is State's Exhibit number 1. See this?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me, this map, you know this map was the actual map in 1996 of the Las Vegas area?
No.
They can't have me on the stand. I don't remember nothing.
It changes so much down there.
Yeah. So we know that this is a map of Las Vegas.
Yes.
But you cannot tell us, for instance, that this is 1996.
No, I cannot tell.
Okay. So, for instance, on the top over here, this doesn't look like the sphere, does it? Does it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Hey, bro.
Now,
You don't
and
show
once
me
again,
a
I just want to make sure I'm clear for the jury. This particular map, as it sits here right now, as it's here, for instance, we have what looks like down here at the bottom. I'm pointing where the MGM label is right here. Do these look like bridges or walk bridges over the streets?
Can't really tell. Let me just scroll here real quick.
Does that help you?
Yeah, they do look like walkways.
And fair to say that those walk bridges in 1996, people were still walking on the streets, crossing like pedestrian crosswalks, right?
I'm trying to recall. I couldn't honestly recall.
Yeah.
I remember them taking crosswalks out and putting those walkways in.
Right.
I remember when they did that, but I don't remember the year they did it.
And once again, I'm not trying to, it's not a catch-up.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't want to say something that I can't be sure of, but I remember when I was down there working, they no longer allowed traffic to cross on foot across the strip because of all of the accidents that we had. So they put those walkways in when I was still working.
Right. Okay. Now, and just finally here, with regards to the, when you're riding on the strip and you're riding with your, with the other person that's with you, you said at some point you were made aware that there was a shooting that had occurred, and the radio traffic indicated that the vehicle you had stopped was potentially the vehicle that was being involved. Remember that line of questioning?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us just really quickly here, based upon State's Exhibit number 1? Once again, we're not looking at it in terms of an accurate 1996 view, but just in terms of the streets. Can you tell us where you were at when you took off to wherever the vehicle was? And I'll just pull that here real quick.
Thank you.
Sure.
I couldn't really tell you where we were because my memory serves me, it was called out right around the same time as we were rolling up on that vehicle.
Okay.
There was shots fired call and vehicles involved, and then we rolled up and saw that vehicle in the middle of Harmon.
And when
the
you,
boulevard.
okay, and when you rolled up and you
I mean, if
saw
he
the
found
vehicle,
guilty,
can you
I'd
tell
probably
us
give him
other
like 30
vehicles
years.
that
He didn't pull
behind
the
that
trigger,
vehicle?
but
Were there any
he
other
was there and he said he provided the guns. Then again, he might.
vehicles in an entourage
All
behind
that coughing,
the black
Jesus.
vehicle?
There were several vehicles stopped all over the strip. It was cluttered with cars. So I couldn't tell you if they were with them or not.
Sure. Did other police officers aid in terms of securing the scene and making sure that anything of evidentiary value was going to be kept in that area?
Yes.
Because I would imagine it wasn't just you by yourself.
Right.
Your partner, other officers arriving on scene would have started to help as a team.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Any redirect examination, Mr. Bajako?
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you have any questions for this witness? If you do, please raise your hand and I'll walk you through the process.
I got a question, ma'am.
Seeing no hands, thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Bailey. You are excused.
Thank you.
So again,
State may call their next witness.
This one is called Ingrid Stokes.
Yes, it's like a white pearl. It's like a
Yes.
it's like a white pearl, JP.
that first witness was a bike cop. They pulled Suge and Tupac over earlier. They didn't have no license plate. And then he was one of the first people on the scenes, and he got in the ambulance Tupac.
These are pierced ear.
No, it's too late to do snitching. He took it to trial. He would have had to.
Ingrid Stokes,
He would have had to do that before.
INGRIDSTOKES.
I don't have any clip-ons, but I'm gonna keep you in mind.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Stokes.
I'm gonna keep you in mind for my clip-on.
1996, did you have a different last name?
It was Johnson.
Okay, so you went by Ingrid Johnson back then? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Did you come to Las Vegas on the weekend of September 7th, 1996?
Yes.
Who'd you come with?
My best friend and some girlfriends.
Okay, can you tell me who they were?
Shalane, Tanisha, and Lauren.
And why'd you come to Las Vegas that weekend?
Well, when you live in LA, you go to Vegas all the time. It's just a party city. So we decided to go for the weekend. We were all off work. And so we went to come hang out. Have fun.
And were you aware, well, first let me take a step back. So you guys were living in LA at the time?
Yes.
What part of LA?
I may be living at my dad's, which is Carson.
And then and you came out for the purposes of the party. Were you aware that there was a Mike Tyson fight that weekend?
Yes. That's one of the reasons. There was always a Mike Tyson managers or coaches, I forget what they're called. And we planned on going to the fight.
Did you end up going to the fight?
Thank you for the 10, DeMarcus.
When
My birthday is on Saturday, so I'll probably be watching my boys hoop up at Ramstein Gym. But then next,
They not heavy. Not to me. I wore the green and brown a lot. I do a 50-month sentence. Yes, Robert. Yep.
So I guess you're not calling your client to testify then? That's an I guess that's one way to argue it.
When Detective Long comes back to Las Vegas, he goes and he talks it over with the Clark County District Attorney's Office. You know what happened then? They didn't charge the case either. In 2009. Ask yourself the reason why that is. It's because they just didn't care about Tupac Shakur or his life? Or is it because they looked into it and realized we can't verify this information, we don't believe this to be true? Why would the Clark County District Attorney's Office not charge him in 2009?
It's a good argument.
Now, what facts do we get out of Detective Long based upon what he did for those 15 years? We don't have any facts. Outside of statements made allegedly by CPD and other people, we don't have anything to verify any of that information. Not one single thing to corroborate the statements made by that man in 2008 or 2009. Not only by Metro, but by the FBI, by LAPD, by the DEA, by the United States Attorney's Office. No one corroborates any of this. So, 2017 comes along, and an entity called the Center of Investigative Reporting, they file what's called a FOIA request with Metro. And what that means is, FOIA is the Freedom of Information Act. It allows or requires government agencies to give up information if you ask for it. It's to be transparent. And people wanted to know what was going on with the murder files. This is 2017. This is years after any of the statements that were made and anything else. Where's the investigation? What's going on? Well, Metro said, no, we're not going to give it to you. So in 2018, the Senate turns around and files a lawsuit against Metro to force them to give them the file, to show them what work had you been doing over, at that particular point, I don't know, 20 years.
Yeah, lawyers don't math. That's fair, counsel.
That's when Detective Long enters the picture. What you will learn is that Detective Long basically says, I'm here just to close out the case. He's not here to solve the mystery of who killed Tupac. So with everything you have in front of you that you're now hearing for the first time in terms of the statements that were made in 2008, 1998, 1990, whatever, Detective Long comes along and says, I'm just here to close out the case. That's his role. And what you're going to learn is Detective Long received a copy of what's called the Death Row Chronicles in 2018. It's not a deposition. It's not testimony under oath. It's edited and it's done for educational purposes. He receives a copy of it. You know what happens when he receives that copy of the interviews that the state has basically shown you in this case? No charges filed.
It's a good argument.
Why? So, Keefe writes a book allegedly, right? Allegedly, he writes this book called
You are not going to argue. You're going to argue that Keefe didn't write the book? Are you going to make the state? I mean, I guess maybe the state's going to have to bring in the co-writer and be like, how did you get all this information? Because I would imagine the co-writer would have a bunch of recordings of the conversations he had with Keefe to form this all into a book. Allegedly. This book he allegedly wrote. Okay.
Why? So, Keefe writes a book allegedly.
Okay.
Right? Allegedly, he writes this book called Constitution Legend in 2019. You know what happened to the book? Right? He even he confesses to it. But you find
Oh
out
shit.
no charges filed.
I mean, there
What
were
is
charges.
going on? District Attorney's Office doesn't want to charge the case. No charges filed when the interview happens. No charges are filed when the book is written. What is going on?
I think they picked that case back up again after the book came out, but I like the way that counsel is walking through this.
Years goes by, and nothing is going on with the case.
So why not? Why these
Detective Mob
charges?
says he's closing it out. Detective Mob turns around and applies for what's called a search warrant. Now,
He's
what a search
mocking your
warrant
client, is what he's doing.
is that in July of 2023, around that time period, a search warrant requires a police officer to get permission from a judge to basically violate the sanctity and privacy of your home.
I mean, that's,
Right? There's got to be legal reasons for it.
I guess
He's gotta
one way
go
to
through that
put
process, and he's got to ask permission from a judge in order for him to get that. And what he does in that search warrant application is he assures the judge, hey, what we are looking for is in the home. The thing that's going to help us solve this crime,
which is what?
who killed Tupac, is in the home. And he signs an affidavit, and that's important. I want you to remember this. He signs an affidavit attesting to what he's saying to this judge to be true and correct.
What was he looking
What
for?
he says is, I think we have evidence in KPD's home that will solve the murder of Tupac.
Okay, that's vague.
So up until this point, they've got all these statements, they can't be corroborated. So now they're saying, we have evidence in this home that we think probably is in the home. And as a result, we're going to find this evidence. It's going to help us solve this case. What I'm going to tell you right now is that you don't find it. And in the meantime,
So the search warrant turns up nothing?
He now becomes Mr. Mob. And Mr. Mob goes to the grand jury. And in the grand jury, it's a secret proceeding. We're not there. The defense, isn't sitting like we are here.
Right.
It's just the prosecutors. There's a panel of people called the grand jurors, and you have people come up and they testify under oath. And there's really no way for the defense to challenge any of it because it's done in secret.
I mean, there are ways to challenge it after the fact.
But in this particular case, Mr. Mob is sworn to testify truthfully. And you know what Mr. Mob does? He just reads pages of the book into the record. He doesn't do any more in terms of the investigation than read pages of a book into the record. He never documents in any of his efforts any verification of the book before he reads it into the record.
Okay.
He walks up, gets on the stand, and reads the book as if it's the gospel truth.
But ladies and gentlemen, my client is a clout goblin liar. So we just can't take his word for it. Oh boy. So the grand jury was just like a book club. We went to the book, which is basically what we did at members only. This last week we went to the book, and we're just like, but I'm very curious to see what they did to confirm that he wrote the book. Oh, attack the investigation, right? Attack the investigation. That is your number one avenue is to attack the investigation. And I think counsel is doing it without hyperbole. He's just like, ladies and gentlemen, this shit doesn't make sense. Let's talk about it. I like it. He's got a hard case ahead of him. But I like the way he's doing his opening.
That's what he does. He treats that book like it's fact. Now, what you're going to find out about Mr. Mogg is that he never wrote a book. So when he took over the case in 2017, all the way up until when he retired in 2023, was in front of the grand jury, he never wrote a report. Not one time.
Oh,
not like Detective Becker, and not like Detective Long, and not like any other police officer.
Not even a report about all the search warrant shit? I mean, did somebody else write there? I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this unfolds. I'm trying not to just default to Massachusetts. I'm curious to see how this unfolds. Because did other people write a report, including what he did? I'm curious, but I'm keeping an open mind until we hear these individuals testify. I'm curious.
Who does their job. This man never writes a report. In fact, what happens is he transitions, right? He's Metro detective, he retires, and then he gets a job working as an independent contractor for the district attorney's office as an investigator. And as an investigator, he doesn't have any police power. He continues to work as a lead detective on this case. Even though the procedure is you hand your file and your officer's report to the next detective in line. That's how this works. But he keeps the file for himself and he starts billing against the file after he retires as a detective in Metro. Because now he's an independent contractor.
Curious.
That's important to know. Why is that important? Because what the evidence is going to show you is that he backloaded his work. And when he finally writes a report, it's not an option.
So he becomes an independent contractor and then bills for all the work that he's doing? Seems a bit like double dipping, doesn't it? I'm curious.
It's an investigative report that spans from 2018 to current, and we just received it about 5 weeks ago.
Interesting.
The importance of
That's kind of wild. I'm curious to see how this develops. I'm putting big old notes around this because I think the defense is doing a great job of defensing an opening. The defense is raising questions that I'm like, that's curious. That's suspicious. That's weird. Now, there might be an explanation down the road, but he's doing a good job of raising the questions and opening that are going to sit with me. That question's going to sit with me. You're telling me he didn't write a report since 2018 till 2026? This case was indicted in 2023, and the first time he wrote a report was 5 weeks ago before this went to trial? Curious. I'm curious. Now, will all the bad investigation in the world undo Keefe D bragging about his role in all of this? Possibly not. But it raises some questions, and that's their job.
Loaded his work. And when he finally writes a report, it's not an option report. It's an investigative report that spans from 2018 to current, and we just received it about 5 weeks ago. The importance of capturing everything you do, the accuracy that you need to be able to be in court on a murder case.
Too old.
Not some type of, college paper that you forgot to do and then the last second just put something together and, get it out the door.
Excuse me, counsel, they don't do that anymore because they just ask chat, well, not our chat, but like the other
JP,
chat.
I'm going to show you some necklaces. JP, let me know which one you want.
Analogy.
JP, are you on Facebook?
Any of that. That's going to be important later for you to consider.
He's raising good questions.
Because according to that report that he submitted 5 weeks ago or so, he never verified the book. According to that report, he never investigated any of the alternate theories that were out there. And you're going to hear about those alternate theories. There are people who have developed over time answers to the question, who did this and why?
Keefe D's name's been in the mix since the beginning of this. But again, attack the investigation. I think he's doing a good job of raising questions about what else did you investigate. We're going to get into conspiracy theories, aren't we? Don't put them in the chat now. They'll get deleted. We just focus on what comes up in court. However, it sounds like the wildness is going to come in at court because of course it will. For those of you saying, I wonder how much Mr. Mogg billed, I bet he'll get asked about it on cross-examination.
never looked into any of it. Which I think, at the end of the day, don't you want to see what's out there to help you with your investigation? And according to his work, his report, he did more on the case after he became an investigator than he did before when he was a detective. What I'm going to tell you right now is what you're going to find when you listen to all the evidence, that his work was biased, sloppy, and incomplete.
Attack the
Those are
investigation.
the three things you're going to determine for Mr. Ball. Now, because of the fact that in terms of the evidence itself, he doesn't have much, the state's going to lean pretty heavily on their witnesses. I'm going to give you a sampling.
I'm real curious if nobody talked to the co-writer. Because it seems like a real easy step to talk to the co-writer.
Of the type of people you're going to run across in this trial based upon their witness list in this case. First person is this guy named Reggie Wright Jr. He's the security company for
Death Row.
For Death Row Records. And what he is a felon. Second of all, you're also going to find that he's a former Compton police officer. He worked for Compton PD for about 5 years, and apparently he got disabled. At some point, he becomes a felon. You're going to learn about that. And his father,
I'll be surprised on who the civilian witnesses are that aren't felons, because there's going to be a lot of that, I would imagine.
Since we before earlier, Reggie Wright Sr. was the head of the Compton PD gang unit. What you're also going to learn about Reggie is that, once again, he was supposed to be protecting Suge Knight. Where was he the night of the shooting? In addition to that, he orders his security team to not carry firearms the night of the shooting, before the shooting took place. What you're also going to learn is
that's interesting.
He wasn't even around when the shooting occurred. So the principal, meaning the person he should have been protecting the most, would have been Suge Knight, the head of Death Row Records. This man was nowhere to be found. He was sitting at a club called 662 down the street, waiting for Suge to show up, while he left his people that were working for him unarmed.
If you're doing security, I'm shocked that you're not with your principal. It's a good argument.
In the vehicles behind Suge Knight. And when push comes to shove, he orders his people to lie to the police during their investigation.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
That's going to be called by that. That guy's going to be called by that. In addition to that, when everything was said and done, Suge Knight was in prison because he was not supposed to be in a fight in Las Vegas. He violates his release.
Yeah, wasn't Suge on parole, probation, pretrial release?
Guess he takes over Death Row Records. Reggie Wright Jr.
I didn't know that.
The state
That's
is also
interesting.
bringing other people.
A parade of unreliable people with criminal records. He's like, see, my client's full of shit. All these other fuckers are full of shit. Everybody's full of shit. He's like, everybody's lying. Ordered his security not to be armed the night of the shooting is fascinating. And I didn't know that Reggie Wright Jr. took over Death Row or operations of Death Row when Suge went to prison. That's interesting.
That's going to be called by that. That guy's going to be called by that. In addition to that, when everything was said and done, Suge Knight was in prison because he was not supposed to be in a fight in Las Vegas. He violates his release. Guess he takes over Death Row Records.
That's interesting.
Reggie Wright Jr. Now, the state is also going to bring in other people with unreliable positions, including criminal histories, financial motivations, and inconsistent statements. That are the people and the quality of the evidence that you're going to listen to in this case. Just to give you another example, there's going to be an individual by the name of Devonta Durwalkley. Who is he? He's been a paid informant for years. You're going to hear that They have paid him to be an informant. He will, of course, say whatever he needs to say to avoid his own criminal actions, but his testimony will be inconsistent. And that's what you have to really rely on. Is what exactly is he going to say, and can you even believe it?
That'll be interesting.
In addition to that, you're also going to learn about a disgraced LAPD detective by the name of Greg Cady. The state told you about him. He wrote a book.
Is he on the witness list?
What was happening with regards to Keefe. Now, Greg Cady, he stole the file. What you're going to learn is he actually...
It's yours, JP.
On the witness list, though.
Thank you, JP. So, JP, this one is going to you. So, JP, let me go to Facebook.
And walked out the door.
And what's your...
LAPD detective that they are using, or one of the people that they're...
What is your name on...
He writes the book, then he holds himself out as the person who solves the murder.
Yeah.
That's Greg Cady. That's...
JP, what's your name on...
Now, what you're also going to learn is Greg Cady, when he was a detective with LAPD, was basically caught manipulating witnesses.
JP, inbox me on Facebook so I can get your address so I can mail it out today.
There's a court finding on this.
So JP, I need send me a message.
Is going to have so much fun on cross-examination in this case. You can hear it in his voice. Listen to his voice. Listen to counsel's voice. You can hear him anticipating his cross-examination of this witness. The woman sitting in the media row behind KPD's face continues to react. I mean, mildly, it's court appropriate, but her eyebrows just keep going up as the detective is talking. Or the defense witness is talking about this detective.
Witnesses. And because he was caught manipulating witnesses, it led to cases being overturned as a result. There was a court finding on this issue. A judge determined that. And there we go. That's Greg Cady. That's a witness in this case. Now, your challenges, right? I mean, gosh, we're sitting here, there's cameras in the room. I mean, things going on. But it's really time. Like, how do you, as jurors, try to figure out time on this case? There's been so much time. Delays.
Right.
By who, though?
Why now?
And there's corruption. How do you look at your information that you're receiving with anything more than just skepticism? Like, you're going to look at this stuff and like, well, I mean, you have a motive to lie. You have a motive to tell or deceive. And it's because at the end of the day, there's not actual facts.
There's a lot of money.
You get past all the talk and me talking. Just look at the actual facts. What facts do you have to support any of what KPD said or any of his interviews or in the book? When you look at this relevant timeline again, and you see the length of time, ask yourself, what facts do they have to even put KPD in a car in Las Vegas on September 7th, 1996?
KPD said it over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
You look at the video that happened at the MGM. Look from. Try to find him in there. Try to find any of the other individuals.
Counsel, he put photos of himself in the book at Vegas. Okay. Keep going, counsel. Keep going.
Remember, he said there's three individuals in the car with him and Orlando Anderson. Orlando's in the video because he's getting beat up. Find any of those other individuals on the videos of the FGM. Look for evidence that shows that KPD was even in Las Vegas on the night of the fight. Receipts, credit cards,
timeline. Hold on, counsel. You have auditorily triggered us. Receipts, proof, timeline, so fucking everything. We have time, counsel. No? Yes? Yes.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, in everything.
Thank you, everybody.
Look for evidence that shows that KPD was even in Las Vegas on the night of the fight. Receipts, credit cards, a picture of him standing next to somebody else.
JP just won this, Courtney.
Something.
So JP just won this. So I'm mailing this out to I'm mailing this out to JP. So JP won this today.
There's verse 8.
So I'm trying to get her information on Facebook so I can mail it out to her today.
Suge Knight was raided, and at some point there is a ticket stub to that fight, the Tyson versus Seldon fight with Suge Knight's possession, because he went to the fight. And you would think a fight like this, you want to show everyone that you were at the fight. There's no evidence at all that man was beaten at the fight.
Okay, so it's Avis. Your name on Facebook, JP, is Avis.
Really, at the end of the day, what you're going to hear from witnesses that will testify to this is that KPD was known to do this. That's the testimony you're going to hear in this case. That's what.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, humans of the chat, I present to you that my client is famously known for his bullshit. My client is known to be a liar. He is prone to self-aggrandizement, and he is full of shit. I mean, what are you gonna do?
This is that KPD was known to do this. That's the testimony you're going to hear in this case. That's what you're going to hear about that man right there. And so you have to ask yourself the question: if I just say things, is that going to end up being one of those things where I'm going to be headed up for a murder if I just keep repeating that fiction? I keep repeating that. The answer is no. You have to corroborate everything I said in order for it to be true. Otherwise, it's just that. And at the end of all the time we spent together,
everything that guy said is bullshit. That's where we're going. We're going full. Everything that guy said is bullshit. Counsel. I was curious which way counsel would go with what he has. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. Counsel's got a tough case to work with. I like it. I'm curious to see where this strategy goes. I bet counsel's going to bring us some delightful cross-examinations.
what you're going to find is that the state cannot prove to you beyond reasonable doubt the claim that he had anything to do with a first-degree murder with use of deadly weapon. There's no facts to that matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Courtney, let me know what color earrings you like. Courtney, let me know if you like the blue.
Sure, we can do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are going to take a 15-minute break. During this recess, you are admonished not to talk or converse amongst yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary on the trial with any person connected with this case by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, the internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected with the trial until the case is finally submitted to you. We'll have you guys back here at 11 a.m. Please rise for the jury.
Hey, Your Honor. Excuse me, Your Honor. When do you read the pre-instructions?
What color do you like, Courtney? The black,
when
blue,
you did jury selection? Because you didn't do it
the
this
brown.
morning.
For the record, the jury says.
Let me know if you like the denim, bamboo. Courtney, I'm gonna send you some too.
Those exhibits so it goes a little smoother.
I was going to break the box in. We've already given our list next month. I just need to grab the exhibits for the witnesses today.
Sounds good. All right. And then we'll give you about an hour, or we return about an hour and 15 before we have the break.
Okay. They are going to morning break. We're going to zoom right through the morning break. For those of you just coming in, we have gone through opening. Let's do that real quick. We have gone through opening statements from the prosecution and the defense in the KPD trial for the murder of Tupac in Las Vegas, September 7th, 1996. the defense, we're just going to go in reverse order. The defense very early on made clear that their kind of theme of the case is going to be fact or fiction. I think it is easily memorable. I think it's something that when you talk about this opening statement later this week, next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, what you're going to take away and remember from the defense opening statement is it fact or is it fiction? How come nobody wrote any reports and everything my client says is bullshit? And the witnesses will tell you that my client is a bullshitter. And also some of the main witnesses for the state have some serious problems. So be sure to ask them some questions, including detective wrote the book. Yeah, stole the file. Oh, and also had some issues with
don't know.
coercing witnesses. So make sure you just keep that in mind before that detective who they're relying on goes ahead and testifies. Sure. But what shows that Keefe was even there? How do we know he was in Vegas? How do we know that the things he said in his book are true? Because guy's a liar. He's a bullshitter. You know, he's a book. We just, as one does, it's entertainment. It's hyperbole. And the state's opening was, hey, you have to understand the background that was coming out of Compton and the battle that was brewing between not just Death Row Records and Suge Knight and Bad Boy Records and Diddy or Puffy, because 90s, so Puffy is what's going to come up in all the interviews. But you also have to understand that there was a fight in the Lakewood Mall that involved the little cousin of Keefe D. The little cousin of Keefe D pulled somebody's death row chain off their neck. It's hotly contested about whether the chain was stolen, not stolen, but it was laying the groundwork for everything boiling over in Vegas when both the Suge Knight and his crew were in Vegas. He was a part owner or full owner of Club 662. Tupac was going to be performing there after the Tyson fight. So they were all in Vegas, but also Keefe D's Southside Compton Crips had also rolled to Vegas. And Keefe D's cousin had gotten jumped in the MGM Grand. It was on security footage. It ended up all over the news. And that had to be answered for. What Keefe D talks about in the book that we have not heard discussed in opening, and we will probably hear from the defense, not the prosecution, is whether or not Puffy actually asked the Southside Compton Crips to kill Suge Knight and Tupac. But the defense might leave it out because the defense is saying, hey, we don't know why they would do this. The prosecution is saying this was a gang retaliation. This was not a ordered hit from somebody else. This was not like a murder for hire. Though they might have been willing to take Puffy's money for it, they were going to do this because of the beating or the jumping of the nephew. So that was something that had to be answered for. And Keefe D is the one that was calling the shots. Keefe D is the one that brought the weapon. Keefe D handed the weapon to the shooter. And from the 2 cars that were involved in this shooting, only 2 people are still alive. Keefe D and Suge Knight. Suge Knight's on the witness list. His nephew, not his cousin. My apologies. Thank you, Chad. His younger nephew. Keefe D, I imagine, isn't going to testify after that opening statement of everything my guy says is bullshit. But Suge Knight's on the witness list. Diddy's also on the witness list. Yes, they can bring both Suge and Diddy out of custody and to Vegas to testify. They can't really make them answer questions, but they can ask them questions, and it'll be real interesting if that happens. So if you are new to live commentary on my channel, yes, we do live commentary over the case. We talk throughout, and then we zoom to catch up. And if you don't have the Law Nerd app, now is the time to get the Law Nerd app, because I will let you know when the witnesses you want to see most take the stand. Because the defense has set up a lot of really interesting questions. And I think they did a really good job in their opening of raising questions. I think that the defense put enough seeds out there that the jury's going to be listening with but what about this? With a critical mind. And that's exactly what you want. You want the jury listening to the prosecution's case in chief with a critical mind. And I think the prosecution did a good job of saying, these are the players that were involved, and set the stage leading up to what was happening. and said, hey, Keefe D tells us in his own words. So let's take a look at what he said, shall we? Because there's so many books written about this case. Everybody's book is going to get them into trouble. We need Dorinda. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. Going to be very, very interesting. Bethany asked, could he be called by the
Bethany,
prosecutors?
hey!
Keefe D can't be called. I'm assuming, Bethany, that
I'm
you're
so
asking
okay.
about Keefe D. Keefe D has a Fifth Amendment right. He cannot be compelled to testify. He could be compelled to shut the fuck up and not write his own book. Well, I guess no, he can't be compelled. He could have chosen. He could have written this and published it after death, but he wanted to set the record straight. So there's that. All right, we're gonna zoom. Let's get back to court. They're gonna take. They're going to take a brief break. The court was just telling everybody, hey, just because the jury left doesn't mean we're not on the record anymore. The court's taking a brief break. We've got the Great Seal of the state of Nevada up there. Fantastic. Let's zoom. I just went to My Chemical Romance this last week, so I'm just looking at the wheat. It's probably not wheat, but it looks like wheat because my brain is still in drug. Not only did I just go to My Chemical Romance at Nissan Stadium, one of the last concerts at the old Nissan Stadium because the new one's going to be opening soon, but I also went to a concert on Saturday night. I'm still not recovered.
Not for me. It's so long ago. I'm not saying obviously Tupac still needs to get justice.
En Vogue. TLC.
Okay, thank you, JP.
It was so fucking good. It was so good. All right. Keefe D's coming back out of lockup. He is in civilian clothes. He is in custody throughout this trial. Though he said he might bail out. He hasn't. It was such a good concert. It was so hot. It has been so hot. I danced in a silly way. I'm probably dehydrated. I have rarely in my life been sweatier than I was at this concert, but it was at a venue that I really like here in Tennessee. It was an absolute blast. Oh, to the Lawnards that I said hello to at MCR. It was lovely seeing all of you at MCR. So much fun. Good to see you. But yeah, God, En Vogue gave me, everything gave me chills. En Vogue, Salt and Pepper, TLC. They were so good. God, they were so good. It was great. So, did I dance like it was 1996? My knees can
Emily
no longer
Baker.
dance like it was 1996. It was a restrained version
Emily
of
Baker.
dancing like it was 1996. Because otherwise I would have hurt myself. And we can't do that. But, yeah, I pre-gamed for the concert with electrolytes. Pre-gamed with electrolytes. And then drank like 4 cans of Liquid Death sparkling water. But had the best time. Tried to stay hydrated. Had the best time. Dolly V said, who sang for Left Eye? They had parts of Left Eye.
Yes, she does. She does,
on
Courtney.
Audio, on recording. So they brought that in, especially when they sang Waterfalls.
Before bringing the jury in. All right, let's bring him in.
All right, jury's coming back in. Yeah, my knees aren't even dropping it low for gardening now. I've got a gardening stool, but yeah, we're not. Then again, when I had my ACL repaired many years ago, my doctor was like,
yes.
You don't have much cartilage going on in there. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't. And that was like 20 years ago. So, no. Yeah. We have pre-gamed with hydration so we don't end up with a heat migraine. Dolly V, I love that they did that for Left Eye too. They absolutely honored Left Eye in the way that they used her parts of the songs. It was great. Everybody sounded amazing. V, of the like 90s shows I've seen, and I put Officer Mix-a-Lot in there too. He sounds amazing. They sounded amazing. They sounded amazing. Yeah, it was incredible. Gave me chills.
All right, state your name, call your first witness.
Gary Dale.
All right, witness number 1 is Gary Dale. Cons the dog. Wait, when did you go to that concert? Saturday. They're calling the tour the Iconic Tour. I think our tickets were like $30 or $40. 100% worth it. 100% worth it.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this session shall be the truth, the whole truth.
All right, prosecution witness number 1.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
First name is Gary, Garry. Last name is Dale, Dale.
All right, I spelled it wrong.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Jacqueline, you may proceed.
Thank you. Sir, back in September of 1996, how were you employed?
I was working for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at that time.
And how long did you wind up working for Metro?
25 years total.
On September 7th of
Hey,
1996,
Sean.
what was your assignment?
I was assigned to a bike team on bicycles on the Strip, Las Vegas Strip area.
Is the uniform similar to the
you
one
say
they have
bike
today,
patrol?
where you're wearing the yellow shirts, or were you wearing something different?
Yellow shirts and black pants.
Direct your attention to right around 11 p.m. What part of the Strip were you working?
I was working the little bit further south end, south of Flamingo.
Did you have a partner?
Yes, I did.
What was his name?
Richard Goldgart.
While you were working on that area of the Strip, did you cause there to be some sort of car stop of a vehicle?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what was the purpose of stopping this?
I initiated a car stop on a black BMW that had no license plates.
May I approach you?
You may.
Oh.
First, I'm going to show you what's emergency.
They got stopped by the cops before the shooting happened? Well, that makes it pretty easy to identify the occupants of the vehicle.
Now, there's some obvious markings on it, but these appear to be two aerials in the Las Vegas Valley from generally around the 2096 area.
Yes, sir.
Accurately reflect kind of the location that we're describing on Flamingo. Yes. Move to amend 1 and 2, Judge.
Chad asking, does he mean bicycle cop or motorcycle cop? Bicycle cop. Not uncommon on the Vegas Strip. Also because the Vegas Strip, but yeah, bicycle.
You may publish.
Like bicycle.
I'm going to start with exhibit number 1. And right next to you, don't click it, but there is a mouse that you can roll around with a pointer.
Don't click the
Tell me
mouse.
when this car stop occurred.
I'm gonna try to move our closed captions to the other side for a minute so we don't block
Work,
the
you're doing it off of your computer.
imagery of the Strip.
It's it works.
There it goes.
So it will work.
Trying to wrap it around.
The reason the carriage house is listed on here is because it's one of the locations where QVD had rooms. That's why the carriage house is noted on there. And then you've got some identifiable landmarks here in Vegas, Harmon, Koval, Flamingo, Carriage House, MGM Grand. And yes, the prosecution should have and would have gotten an older aerial closer in time so that the landmarks are similar to the landmarks as they were then, not as they are now.
The boulevard here.
If I told you that red dot's Harmon in Flamingo, Harmon in Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yes, sir. A car stop was right around, I believe it was right around this area.
So just south of Flamingo.
He said just south of Flamingo.
Yes.
When you approached the vehicle, did you recognize the occupants?
No, I did not.
Why did you stop this vehicle?
It had no license
license plates.
on the back.
When you approached the vehicle, did the occupants communicate?
Yes.
And did you, at that point, did you learn their identity?
They told me who they were, but just identifying them, not.
Did you know them?
No,
When they told you their names?
They told us their names because we asked them their names, but I didn't know them. I had no knowledge of them before that. We ID'd them.
As you sit here today, do you recall who they were?
Yeah.
You talking about Woody? Woody?
Shook.
Yeah, approach.
Woody?
Showing you grand jury exhibit number 3.
So that's at 11 p.m.
Is that how the two of them appeared to look that evening when you approached them?
Yes.
In particular, Mr. Shakur is wearing or has on a
So bad.
very large gold necklace.
Yes.
Did you talk to him about that necklace?
Yeah, we talked to him for a few minutes out there, and I just remarked to him, "Wow, man, that's a huge piece of gold or something like that he had around his neck."
Would you describe your interaction with him as congenial?
Yes.
Did you ask them about the license plate, why their vehicle had no license plate?
Yes, I did.
And what was the response?
They stated that they were filming a video, so they had taken the license plate off because they were filming a video going up and down the strip.
Move to admit 3, Judge.
Any objection?
I'm sorry. No objection, Your Honor.
Admit so admitted.
Can you publish it? Great. You may publish.
And this large gold medallion is what we're talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that is a big gold medallion.
How did that interaction with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur end?
We told them that they were going to have to put the plate back on their car, and we warned them and released them.
Put the
You're
plate on your
remaining
car.
down on the strip
Bye.
area after they left that car stop.
Yes, sir.
Fast forward about, say, 10 minutes later, something unusual happened.
Oh boy.
What happened?
He out.
We were continuing riding
He out.
on the strip area. We were heading southbound on the boulevard, and we heard some calls come out about a vehicle. Can't remember exactly what was said, but
He out. Let's see what else. Let's see what other hot topics they talking about. Oh Lord, William going live tonight, 8 o'clock. I guess to talk about the Steelers. So William. Y'all, did y'all ever know the thing about? Did y'all ever know the backstory with Senegal getting caught with Brian Carn? Did y'all ever know the full story behind that? Why Demetrius Senegal is so hurt?
You gotta get safe.
When what you just said that I specifically want to talk about.
So let's go.
The so-called negative feelings, God gave us the capacity to feel those too, to allow our internal world to have an avenue to be expressed. So I had a conversation with myself. You are going to feel this. You're not going to preach over it. You're not going to hyper-spiritualize it. You're going to feel it. And then I went to look for some natural support. We tend to try to relegate all healing work as people of faith solely to the confines of the church. And the church and the altar is an important place and an important part of the healing journey. But we are spirit, soul, and body. That tripart reality requires then that there be a multi-dimensional confrontation on the wounding. And so I found a betrayal trauma expert to help me to understand. For me, I'm cognitive, so I need to understand what is happening. Why am I not able to eat? Why am I unable to sleep? Why are things being processed in this way? And did some deep work with Kristen Snowden, who is one of the leading experts on betrayal trauma, to really move me.
Okay, let's go.
That I said this was going to be the deadline. I ate and slept like nothing had occurred. And so I allowed my body.
Does Demetrius Senegal still wear braces? Demetrius okay, let's do a backstory. Demetrius Senegal is, how old is Demetrius? Demetrius Senegal age. Y'all see the first thing that came up was the wife. That's a mess. Ain't that a mess? Demetrius Senegal is 40. He's 40. And okay, so Demetrius Senegal is 40. And where is he from? Okay, so let's go here. So Demetrius Senegal is from Lafayette, Louisiana. He's 40. He has a earned degree, a Bachelor of Science. Okay. So Demetrius Senegal is 40 years old, grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana. He has a degree, a Bachelor of Science degree. And it says he has a master's in pastoral counseling. Okay, we just needed a little backstory. All right.
To undergo that initial phase of grieving. Of course, grieving happens along a spectrum of many phases and stages.
Why is he not doing the same to his wife? She was the one who was covenant with.
Let me just stop here for a moment, because I think that's a testament that, one, you were being willing to go to therapy. Because I think a lot of men, especially African American men, I think that there is it's somewhat taboo in our community to really talk about that, especially being a man of faith. Because like you just mentioned, I feel like when it comes to faith, it's easy to say, well, God can heal everything. God can take over this. God has the ultimate power, so there is no need to do that. So you never took the medicine at all?
I did not take the medication, no.
Medication for what? So for depression. Okay, so he was taking medication for depression.
I continued through therapy.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, let's.
But we are spirit, soul, and body. So
okay, we know spirit, soul.
Outside. And again, she doesn't know about him. She follows me outside.
Let's go back.
Gotten that house. So what I did when I had this dream, because I'm still trying to accept what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm saved and, I love the Lord, but I don't play. And so part of me is saying, no, they know not to play with me. They would know.
Yeah.
So I text the person.
No way they're going to play with me like that.
Right. I text the person. And I said, hey, shoot me the address to your new house. I want to send a housewarming. Because I'm trying, again, I got this street that keeps coming up in my dream. And they sent me an address, but it was not that address. But maybe when I got the address, the Holy Ghost said they're lying.
Whoop.
So I had these dreams that were happening. But
so this is Karn. He asked Karn for his address so he can send him a housewarming party, a housewarming gift. Am I following this right, y'all? So Senegal asked Karn for an address so he can send him a housewarming gift, and Karn sent him a fake address. Am I following this right? Do I got that right, y'all? I need to know I got that right before I continue. Do I got that right? Did Senegal ask Karn for an address? Do I need to run it back, Courtney? Do I need to run it back? Do I need to run it back? Senegal is saying that he was having dreams, and he asked Karn for address so he can send him a housewarming gift, and Karn sent him a wrong address. I just want to make sure.
But again, the human side of me is saying, no, they wouldn't play with me. No, this person's integrity is here. And so I just wouldn't accept what it was that I was seeing until I no longer had a choice. I was sitting in Lafayette, Louisiana, meeting with a spiritual son of mine. And as we're sitting there, the Holy Ghost said, get up and go home. And I say to him, I said, I gotta go. And he says, well, Pop, everything is good. I said, everything's good. I said, the Lord just told me to go home. And I don't tell my spouse at the time that I'm coming home. And so I drive home, walk in the house, and nothing's going on. I walked in the house, and she was coming down the stairs with a basket of clothes, and I had no bottoms on at the time. She goes to hug me. I said, "Hold on just a second." And we never had a dynamic where we checking phones, and if I got to do all that, there's already a problem. But this day, I'm coming in the house to get her phone, and so I go in the house, I get the phone, and she sees it, and I walk outside. And again, she has no bottom. She follows me outside. I said, look what you're doing in this neighborhood. You got no bottoms on. What do you think I already know? And I sit in the car and went through the phone, and initially found nothing. But then there was an app on the phone called Text Now. And when I opened up the app, there was one text thread that was saved as the person's cousin's name. And when I opened it up, and I read through what it was clear to me who it was. Yeah, and so I had to accept it at that point.
Hey! Y'all, let's pause. Woo! Yeah, JP, he said he kept having dreams that something wasn't right. And he said, but in the natural, he said, my wife and Karen would not play with me like that. Like, they not gonna do that. That's not what I'm seeing. And he said he went home and grabbed her phone, went in the car, locked the door, and went to the Text Now app. And inside, it was Karen and his wife texting the fool.
And thanks be to God.
You was trying to reconsider. You trying to get that one?
I'm a man of God. I'm a man of God. We were friends for about a 2.5-year period.
You know, we keeping this in the interview too. This is my husband, you guys. This is my husband.
I expect
Right now, there's no coming back from that.
Well, first off, we're not even speaking nothing over us, okay? Father, in the name of Jesus, we are aligned.
Now Harley Initiated is with Harley Initiated guy is, what's his name, Courtney? And the reason she's talking about she covering her marriage, and that she don't want nothing to come on her marriage, because it said that her marriage to, what's the boy, Courtney? The Harley Initiated guy. What is his name? Courtney, I know you know this boy name. Not Demetrius, but the guy that's over Harley Initiated. What is his name? Come on, y'all. Drop it in the chat. Okay, let me see. Harley Initiated. His name is... let me see. Host. Okay, so it's saying, but I thought, okay, so I got this wrong. The Faith Harley Initiated podcast is Jessica Lange. But what's... Okay, so I got them two mixed up. I thought I got them mixed up. I thought they were, what's the podcast guy? Oh, my future wife. I got her mixed up with Letter to My Future Wife. Okay, I got them mixed up with my future wife podcast. I got her mixed up with Latreus Whitfield. Yeah. I was thinking this is her husband, but this is not her husband. I got her mixed up with him. Latreus. Okay. So, but that's not the same. Okay, so let's go back. Okay. So that's not, I was finna say, but that's not. She looks like Latrea's wife, but that's not Latrea's wife. So let me get back on topic.
Are great. We are all of the things. So we're not even
Yeah,
speaking
Latrea's
exactly.
is.
Sorry about
Thank you
that.
much.
Yeah, no, my.
I'm sorry, my screen is screechy, y'all. I should have wiped it off.
Faith crisis, but I certainly had to relook at some things. Just my theology around divorce, and remarriage. I did not want to contribute to here's another divorced bishop, even though I'm on the other end of the impact of it. And thanks be to God, by the grace of God, some folk are going to lose their life. But thanks be to God that I have a spiritual father who hears from the Lord.
So he was gonna take Brian Carn out? Ooh! He said somebody was gonna lose their life. Oh, damn, my Shia. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, did y'all hear that? He said he was gonna take Brian Carn up out of here. Ooh, y'all. Let's continue.
At the right moments.
Okay, all right. Okay, so look, so I just want to, I want to stay on this topic for a little bit because, like my husband just mentioned, that takes a whole lot of maturity and a deeper level. I would say, the level of faith is impeccable. Obviously,
girl, the way she rubbing her hands, girl, the way she rubbing her hands, she can't take it. She cannot take it. Carn played in that man's face, y'all.
I want to be another statistic with divorced bishops, but what was the reason as to why you didn't reconcile?
That I didn't, so we endeavored to, we went through marriage counseling and and I'm trying to frame this in a way because I don't need to. Some of the truth would paint a picture that I don't need to paint about her.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
But the approach and the attitude and the aftermath made it clear to me. I said in a final conversation, I said, I can stay married to you and I will always take care of you. I'm never going to mistreat you, but I won't be able to respect you.
Oh, so you might as well divorce.
Respect you, not because of the breach.
Yes, he did, Courtney.
People are imperfect. And that imperfection shows up in a various degree of ways. Infidelity does not have to necessitate divorce. I walk couples through repair all the time, so it doesn't have to.
Yes, she did. Yes,
but
she
it does
did,
take
Courtney.
an extreme degree of humility and willingness that just was not present where humility was concerned. And then secondly, it would have been extremely difficult on her to remain in the world that I'm a leader in, and by that time it had become public conversation. She wouldn't have been able to live that down, so it wouldn't have been fair to her either. Sorry.
You should keep all of this in. So the viewers be wanting to hear from my husband. You should keep all of this in. Y'all, this is Michael McDonald, guys.
I mean, it's just crazy because you always hear from the guy.
Oh, he did. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I think I remember. We may have to revisit Larry's interview with this shit. We may have to. We might have to go on over to Larry's, and I might need to bring that up again to refresh our memory why Demetrius Senegal is so like with Carn.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you had gone to the car. How did everybody else find out?
Because in order to craft a public narrative, the affair partner tried to enlist the help of a church blogger to create a narrative that would try to spare him.
So Carn reached out to Larry to try to spare him.
Yeah.
So after you found out, after she told him.
Yeah. Well, no, I called him.
Oh, okay.
No, I called. So that night that I again looked at the phone, Courtney. Came back into the house, and she and I had a come to Jesus conversation. Of course, I still had the phone, and I texted him from her phone as her. Because I had tried to call him from my phone. He didn't answer. He texted her phone back to make sure the coast was clear, I guess. But of course, I had the phone. So I responded. So then that let him know it was good. So then, as her.
Okay.
So then he called my phone. And I told him I was going to see him and visit him. And yeah.
Mighty God. Yes, Courtney. Hey! Woo, Courtney.
The green was private.
Yeah, and I'll say again, I mentioned my spiritual father. I, for 3 days, from the point of discovery, the human side was again, somebody's gonna go to meet Jesus. And,
come on, Courtney.
I called one of the guys I did undergrad with, and I said, hey, and I did another podcast where I mentioned his name. He said, I can't mention his name, so you don't tell your hitters. I said, hey, I gotta take a ride.
Ooh.
I said, at the end of this ride, somebody's going to jail and somebody's going to hell.
Woo!
And he said, say less, Bishop, tell me.
So Senegal reached out to his friend, who's a hitter. Baby, Courtney, I cannot. Sean, I cannot. He said he reached out to a hitter. And he said, before nightfall, somebody is going to jail and somebody is going to hell. Woo! Baby, listen here. Ooh, Court Sean. Ooh, y'all.
Where to be. And I called one of my deacons and told him, I didn't give them no details, just that, it was going to be some trouble. And as we were in the car on the way, my spiritual father calls me and says, son, where are you? He said, you just fell on me. Glory. He said, you just fell on me heavy in prayer. And I said, Bishop, I'm on the way to a meeting. And I ain't gonna lie to the man of God. It's not.
He said he going to a meeting.
He said, what kind of meeting? I said, I'm going to introduce somebody to the Lord.
Hey!
And
hey! Hey! Wait a minute, Senegal! I'm finna go introduce somebody to the... Woo! Courtney! Baby, he about to send some... Woo! He about to send somebody on up to yonder. Courtney. Ooh, this thing on here. This thing right here don't... Ooh, this thing don't got serious.
Hold on, you can't just get over that and I'm very calm. I'm just instruct somebody to the Lord.
And I was on the way.
You're gonna meet Jesus today.
Yeah. And we were on the way to this person's church. And Bishop said, no, he said, where are you? And again, I said, Bishop, I'm on the way to a meeting. I'm going to introduce him.
He on his way to the KCC, baby.
To know my bishop, Bishop Leo Lewis, he is a very, he's a man of intercession. So he began to groan in intercession on the phone. And he asked again, so finally I tell him, I said, Bishop, I'm going to deal with X, Y, and Z. He's like, no, son, you can't do it. And he began to reason with me. Thank God for a spiritual father that hears from God. This interview will be from jail today.
Okay, so, all right. So when you said I'm introducing somebody to Jesus, I look at that as actually introducing.
Oh no, I meant it. Actually, no, we weren't going to have Bible study.
He meant that thing. Ooh, y'all.
Well, thank God. Let me ask you, because you've mentioned spiritual father a couple of times, and I've always wondered, this is a little sidetrack real quick off script, but I've always wondered when people use the term spiritual father and spiritual
Girl,
mother,
we ain't worried about no spiritual father.
In that womb. There are many times that people have done what is necessary to get pregnant and haven't gotten pregnant. God is who does that work on the inside. So in the same way that God uses a natural man or woman to begotten you.
Oh, he's talking
I'm still learning off of that. You guys, we're going to have him back for an actual...
We are in eternity, and our life experience contributes to the construction of... he's whipped, stabbed in the side, nails put in his hand.
Okay, he talking about.
What do you mean made your marriage more susceptible to that?
People often, when we talk about adultery and infidelity, look for the betrayed spouse to share in the ownership of the betrayal.
Right.
I think that's an unhealthy approach.
Right.
You have two individuals, both who have whatever their history is prior to the marriage. You then have the marriage. Within the marriage are the two individuals, and are those two individuals' ethics, those two individuals' integrity, and those two individuals' covenant before the Lord. That before you and your husband have a covenant with each other, each of you have to have a covenant before God. So that regardless of your frustrations with the other person, your covenant with God absolutely has to anchor you and has to prevent you from becoming a weapon of destruction.
I think like 2 months ago.
Has entrusted to your care.
I don't know, Courtney. I'll find out, JP. I think this was like 2 months ago or so.
To your care to reveal his heart towards him. That's what you are to your husband. He has a responsibility to reveal God's heart towards you. And so when I say that,
it was 4 months ago. 4 months ago.
We've
4.
come from two very different, marital.
You see it 4 months ago, JP.
We had come from two very different. I came from a
reference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so those pieces made some of the integration.
Baby, they broke it down.
In the marital dynamic, and we had some challenges over the course of the marriage. This laid back, calm is me. The only time you're gonna see me hype is gonna be in that pulpit. She came from a different world, so conflict. I don't do a lot of loud conflict. I'm a man of prayer.
Right.
I don't do a lot of loud. So we're absolutely. So where some of those pieces were happening at, the Bible says something. It says it's better for a man to dwell on a rooftop than in a house with a contentious woman. And I, after hearing that repeatedly, where there was contention, I said, okay, I'm going to sit right over here. You can have that. That was an unhealthy approach for me to take. And though it is a scriptural principle, we also have to read the scriptures within the context of the framework that the writers wrote it in, where wives and women in the context were property not to be considered, their mental and emotional, state of being. And so, where I say it had been in that type of environment, we had come through a season of conflict. All was well, or so I thought. We were in the process of getting ready to take over another church, doing this rebranding. Everything was well, and there it came.
So I want to back up a little bit where you talked about betrayal trauma, because in your book you talk about betrayal trauma and when it comes to mind, body, and spirit. How is it for somebody that's never heard of that term? How is it that they're able to really navigate all three?
Sure. So again, where trauma is an injury to the feeling capacity and not necessarily the feelings, betrayal trauma is where there's a measure of trust that is reposed within a relational context, and that trust is breached, thus altering your nervous system and the baseline of that nervous system. So obviously it can happen in a romantic context. It also happens within just familial context. It also can happen within the religious context. And where it impacts all three dimensions of the self potentially, spiritually it's going to impact the dimension of the self, because it, depending on how anchored a person is in their faith, it can make a person question God. Why did God allow it? Why did God, for those who believe sovereignty means God is causing it, why did God do it? And then we preach that kind of stuff. God allowed it because he was trying to teach you X, Y, and Z. God does not need to weaponize pain against your life to teach you anything. God is the Father of lights. That means he is the essence of illumination and revelation. Certainly there are other ways that God can teach you. It impacts the soul, which is the seat of your emotions, your will, your intellect. Because if you allow it, if you don't do the intentional work to heal in that process, it will alter what you will or what you desire concerning a partner or a spouse. It will alter, again, your sense of emotions, where it can disrupt your attachment style, the way you attach and connect with other persons. And then physically, it impacts you because of the physiological triggering. So you'll find yourself in conversations, situations that your body triggering, right, is not even remembering it. Triggering is your body being transported back into the point of impact where you feel the same impact, even where you may not have language and you can't bring the dots together. There's a book that Dr. Vessel Vanderkolk wrote called The Body Keeps the Score. Your body is tracking what it has experienced along the course of life. So then that means healing then requires a tri-dimensional approach. So obviously, there's got to be prayer. You've got to lay out before the Lord and allow God to walk you through that healing. But where the soul is concerned, which is what is really going to manage both the way you experience God and the way you experience the outside world, right? Through the spirit, we're God aware. Through the soul, we are self-aware. Through the body, we are world aware. So depending on how I relate to myself, which a betrayal trauma is going to impact your sense of security within your body, is going to control the way you experience God and the way you experience other people. So then you have to do some work in counseling and in therapy and with prayer, not one or the other, to heal all through dimensions of the self, so you don't make tomorrow's person pay for yesterday's fault.
That's about to say, do you feel as though, I know you're not married, do you feel as though you've done all of the work? Do you feel like that trauma somewhat still lives in your body? Like when you go into another relationship in the future, do you feel like it would come back up for you?
No, so that is almost 5 years ago now for me. I have done as much of the active pre-work as can be done. One of the questions I asked Kristen in one of the final sessions was, okay, what do I need to be aware
Courtney said no, ma'am.
that can come up
I was just trying to
down
see.
the line in the relationship, because we've done all of this work, around it. And as we talked, I said to her, well, I'm clear that there are some degrees of the healing that must happen within the same framework of the wounding. So if you were wounded in a particular type of dynamic, a level of healing will only come when you re-experience safety in that same kind of dynamic. You break your leg. There's healing that happens while your leg is elevated in that hospital bed. But then there's a measure of healing that requires you to get back on that leg.
I put it out there for Courtney. Courtney said no,
I
ma'am.
will experience when
Courtney
I
said
am
no.
Remarried. But as
I don't
much of the
blame
work
you,
that can
Courtney.
be
It's
done ahead,
like you
there's the
still got a
trauma
lot
in
of
my
more
body,
healing
not that
to
I'm
do.
aware of, but I'm not remarried.
Because you're not exposed to it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be praying for you and your future partner. Okay. Well, still, just the last piece of that is on the three-part dimensional spirit, mind, body, and spirit that you were talking about. You kind of mentioned that some people do question God, like, how could this happen? Did you have a moment where you personally question God?
I did not. My theology and the way I relate to the sovereignty of God does not place God at the micro level of independent individuals' decisions.
Absolutely.
God.
That's a bar right there. That's a bar. Hold on, run that back.
Yeah.
Hold on, run that back.
Yeah, it does not place God at the micro level of individuals' independent decisions. God creates free will, and He gives you free will within the context and the confines of the choice possibilities He gives to you. In the same way, if we look at before time, right? Lucifer, now Satan, is there in heaven with God. He's a son of God. How is it that Lucifer is able to get 1/3 of the angels in heaven to defect with him? They were being led by God. And 1/3 of the angels, they have free will to make that choice. So God sits outside of a person's choices. So no, I never blame God. You cannot indict God for what you're experiencing and also look to Him to help you through it. You've got to decide what side of the narrative you're going to put God on. So no, I never had that. It was fully that person's choices.
Yeah.
And I was living as a part of their choices.
So what does your life look like now that you couldn't have imagined when you were in the middle of the pain?
Sure, when you are facing pain pain becomes a filter, can become a wall. I say to people that pain is a terrible teacher, but it's an excellent classroom. If you allow the Spirit of God to step into the pain and instruct you while in that classroom, then you can extract a life from it. By the grace of God, I'm living in the best days, of my life. Again, I
Come on,
pastored
Senegal.
in 3 different states. Our church is, as of last week, just turned a year old, and we are over 1,200 members. Thank you. So we are in Houston, Texas. And
Come on,
Georgia,
come on, Court.
Chicago, Illinois,
Court here in Houston, Texas.
6 to 8 flights every single week between our locations.
Super busy.
Court here in Houston,
Wait,
Texas,
I'm
baby.
Yeah, so Sunday morning, Houston. Sunday
Oh,
night,
Sean,
Atlanta. Tuesday
that
night
ain't
Bible study, Houston. Wednesday night Bible study.
Sean, that ain't true. Let me tell you something. I was in a relationship with somebody, and I'm not saying I was perfect, but when I ran that thing back, it ain't no reason why we building together. This wasn't my marriage. This was a relationship I was in after my marriage. When I look back, we were building, we were traveling, we were educating each other's children because we had children around the same age, and I'm gonna say it, we were screwing real good. So, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's just to the point, when somebody want to do something, Sean, they gonna do it. And it don't matter, you can slap it up, flip it, rub it down. No, you can do all the things. And they still will go out and do, because like Senegal said, God ain't gonna make you you have free will. So when folk want to do what they want to do, they just gonna do it. It don't matter if you're cooking, cleaning, you're gonna be doing all the things. And if they want to, they're going to. It's not because you were slacking in anything. And that's what I used to tell my girlfriends. My girlfriends used to go through divorce or go through breakups and was like, well, maybe I was this or maybe I was that. I said, girl, please. Maybe I was too big. Maybe I was too small. Maybe I didn't listen. I said, girl, please. When a man want to cheat, he gonna cheat. If he don't, he won't. So all that, he need to take accountability. He wasn't doing that. I'm not saying Senegal is perfect. But my thing is, she made the decision to cock her legs over there to Karn, and they were screwing. Not one time, not 2 times, but they said for years. True, but sometimes it does take 2. That's what I'm saying. His wife and Karn. His wife and Karn were the 2 people. Not Senegal and Karn, not Senegal. It wasn't no 3-way. His wife chose to start a relationship with Karn, and that's what it is. It ain't no, well, girl, I did it because Senegal, he wasn't romantic. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. Maybe he wasn't. But if he wasn't all those things, then you could have had a conversation about counseling or divorce. Then you start a relationship with Karn. But don't be sitting up here saying, I did this because, when there are other options. You could have got a divorce and then start a relationship with Karn. But don't be sitting up here whole married telling some Karn made me do it. Senegal made me do it. No, you wanted that, and that's what you did. Yeah, that's what she wanted to do it. I'm not saying Senegal perfect, but my thing is, you made the decision to text him back and to go over to the house or whatever the dynamics was. You made that decision to do that. Yeah.
Say Atlanta. Thursday night Bible study, Chicago.
Yeah, JP, he said
afternoon worship service, Chicago. Every other Friday, I have an itinerant ministry. I'm ministering in a different city and state. So,
No, of course. So there will be some people, right, when they're going through certain things, they keep busy to avoid pain. Now, obviously, you're keeping busy to navigate your calling, but what would you say to those people, like, that you stay busy to avoid the pain of what you're doing?
Yeah. For me, because I'm sure there's some who will think that concerning me, a lot of times when people hear things for the first time, new to them, they assume that you're at the same beginning stage that they're just learning of it as. Again, I'm 4 or 5 years removed.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date that I got a divorce because I was intentional to not keep up with dates because I didn't want no association with it. So I don't know. It's 4 or 5 years. Say we're in there.
It's good advice for
absolutely. But to the person, what I did, I took a 6-month sabbatical from the pulpit and from ministry initially to do the aggressive healing work. And then I continued in therapy from there. You cannot heal and give tomorrow the best opportunity to thrive if you avoid and disassociate. Keeping busy is a distraction if it is about avoiding the pain. So then it's not purposeful, and you will deposit into whatever you're building that pain that you have not developed. I've written 32 books, but I did not write anything during that period of time because I did not want my anguish, my bitterness, my hurt to be deposited on the pages of those papers. Jesus said a very powerful principle. He said, the words I speak, they are spirit and they are life. So within our words are the content, not just of information, but are the content of our essence. And so if that has not been healed, then as you are doing all of this stuff that you are doing, you're depositing that stuff into that. So don't use busyness as a way to distract yourself from the healing work. Now, you can be busy while you're healing, but don't choose to be busy instead of healing, because tomorrow is going to pay the price.
Absolutely.
That's good. Yeah, so that's that on Senegal. So I just wanted to bring y'all that little piece right there. Y'all, so I'm finna head out to the post office, y'all. I'm finna head out. No one steals your spouse, mate. They leave. Boom. That part, JP. So y'all, I'm finna head out to the post office and grab me something to eat. But I just wanted to come on, and I'll be dropping in on Facebook a little bit more often than not, just to chit chat with y'all, and we kind of going, just talk about any of the hot topics or maybe topics with the Senegal thing. This is a old situation with Senegal and Karn, but I never really knew the intricacies of how he actually caught his wife and Karn in the act. I knew that he did, but I didn't know all the, I went home, grabbed the phone, I didn't know all that. So that's that. So I'm going to be coming on a little bit more often, and we just going to be going over things that maybe y'all want to talk about, stuff that maybe we knew but we didn't know all the details. So it's just going to be a little hodgepodge of everything. And again, my page is going to be set up wherever the chat wants to discuss, we're going to discuss it. It's not really a set program, if you will. It's going to be set up, whatever we want to talk about, we just going to talk about. And the chat is going to lead, and I'm not going to block anybody. If somebody get too out of control, I'm not going to block them. I'm going to just time them out for about 2 minutes to give them time to think about it, and then they can just come on back. All right, y'all. All right, till next time, I believe later on this evening, we may hear from Sean Talk or I Am Courtney. So y'all make sure y'all are liking and following here, the I Am NicolaDMoreland, but make sure you follow my besties, Sean Talk Show and I Am Phillips TV, for all the things of the things. And know that chat here, you are in control. So make sure if there's anything that you want to talk about, you can always email me at nicolasplaythings@gmail.com. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat. So if anybody have a hot topic they want to talk about, you can always email me there, and I'll hop on and we can talk about it. So whether it's relationship, whether it's church, whether it's a hot topic, whether it's whatever, anything y'all want to talk about, you can just email me go over it and we'll talk about it. All right. Till next time, stay sparkly.